Severe tropical cyclone Kirrily, it's now been named, has been upgraded now to a Category 3 system. 120 schools in North Queensland were closed today. Flights are cancelled, so that's going to hammer the tourism industry in that great part of Australia. Residents are now racing to fill sandbags. It looks like a repeat of what we saw that went through far north Queensland above Port Douglas and cutting off Cairns between Cairns and Port Douglas. Sky News weather meteorologist Alison Osborne joins me. I talked to her yesterday from Airlie Beach with the latest. I just wonder how much worse it might be, or are you still in the calm of the storm?
Definitely seeing gale-force winds still across the Whitsunday Islands, Pricey. So still howling here, but the heavier rain from this morning and the damaging winds of over 115 kilometres per hour certainly easing back after the early hours. That said, wave heights out to sea are the main real issue with tourism operators and also transfers between the Whitsunday coast and those islands. So tourism operators suspended for the entire weekend in some cases, and in the case of resort transfers between Hamilton Island, Hayman Island and Shute Harbour, they're suspended today. Decision will be made tomorrow. So effectively, the warning was for the islands to prepare for isolation. They're certainly isolated, even though conditions improve here. The main threat now very much shifts to the north of Bowen. So more than 300 kilometres away from Airlie Beach, we're expecting landfall after 9 o'clock tonight, close to Townsville as a Category 3 storm.
So your modelling's telling you roughly where it might come ashore?
Yeah, so at this stage, there's still a little bit of spread. At this stage, in the vicinity of Townsville, likely further north, potentially a slightly more northerly track, Pricey. So what that means is localised destructive wind gusts of over 165 kilometres per hour are now a threat from air down to Bowen and then north towards Innisfail. So out from Townsville, it's quite a broad area expecting those level of winds. Now, I'll note that those winds are strong enough to rip tiles off roofs. It's also strong enough to bring down power lines and whole trees. So it is quite a dangerous weather event that is occurring, and the impacts are likely to continue well into tonight as that system remains a tropical cyclone, pushes inland. During Friday, we do expect to see that system decaying, transiting to a rain event with the risk of falls exceeding 300 millimetres as far inland as Charters Towers. So what that will do, of course, is lead to the threat of life-threatening flash flooding and then river rises, which can, of course, cause further disruption and water contamination. So definitely a slow escalation of this event. Many residents of Townsville having quite a few days to prepare, but the advice from emergency services now is to finalise your preparations and seek shelter, and that does include the Townsville local government area, the Burdekin region, also Hitchinbrook and Magnetic Island.